Okay, so I'm going to be doing a VOD review for Kahuna. I was saying in the future, if you ever look to do another VOD review, I highly recommend you leave your player tag or whatever in the post because um, in this game in particular, right, the two Kirikos. So I had to look at the other game that you post. Obviously, this isn't like the biggest deal. I'm not particularly upset or anything, but in the future, you know, you're a Kiriko main. I just looked at both things and saw you were the only common Kiriko in both games, so I'm assuming this is you. Um, Regardless, so right, so you're saying you pump out, whatever numbers of heals in a normal match, and your tank is flaming you. So this is an unranked game. First of all, there's an inherent problem with unranked in that the grouping of players can be exceedingly wide. Um, right. I think let's say you have like gold MMR and quick play, you can literally get anyone in your games from like bronze to I'm pretty sure masters and maybe even above, um, which is insane, right? If you were to play in competitive, right, I'd guess you're probably somewhere in the range of bronze to silver. 99% of the games you play will have no one higher than maybe like half a rank above you, whatever rank you are, right? So like let's say you're silver 5, maybe half a rank's a bit too extreme. There's just a lot of players in middle rank, so what I'm trying to say is I'd be surprised to see anyone like gold or above, definitely not above, like even gold 5 to silver 1 in any of your competitive games, unless there's a group or something like that. It's not going to happen particularly frequently, but it happens all the time in quick play. And I've personally noticed quick play games have gone down in quality a lot recently. I don't know if this is something other people have noticed. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play the game recently, so maybe I play a few quick play games a week. For reference, I am top 500 on tank. At least when I last seriously played, I was um, pretty convincingly. I don't mean to brag or anything, but I will get teams of like plat players against like master stacks, and I like frequently. And some games are just pretty much like completely unwinnable, which is very rare and competitive, right? Especially at your rank. If you just improve slightly, you will just climb through the ranks no problem, right? What I'm trying to say is that it's possible to improve in quick play, obviously, right? There's still things we can look at, but it's not a very good learning environment, right? Like, I should have no problem, generally speaking, beating a team of like low master players. If I also have a team of low master players, and I'm the only differentiating factor. But in quick play, you can be silver, and your entire enemy team can be like platinum, and you have bronze teammates, and there's nothing you can do, right? I mean, it's quite literally impossible unless you. Even sometimes you can literally just put down like a rank 1 player, and there's nothing they can do sometimes. And that's not the case in the actual competitive like bronze silver gameplay. So, first of all, don't take quick play too seriously, and second of all, don't look at your stats. Um, they're very misleading if you don't know how to interpret them right. Um, in my opinion, even though I just told you to not look at your stats, what you should really be focusing on is not ever dying first. Very important. That's probably the only stat you should really care about. Because if you consistently die first, you're probably the reason your team is losing fights, right? So, um, minimize deaths in general, yes, but sometimes if like 4 people in your team instantly die, it's okay to die with them so you don't stagger. But dying first pretty much guarantees your team's going to lose the fight. And thirdly, don't listen to your teammates, right? I'd estimate your tank is probably around the same rank as you. I don't know if you're doing with them or whatever. If you are, I wouldn't do it with people that yell at you or whatever, flame you. I think that's a complete waste of time. Um, but they know how to play the game just as well as you do, so why would you take advice from them, right? Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you'll find like I'm a tank player, so my DPS and support were lower ranks than them, and I didn't do it, but in principle, I could offer advice um, to my teammates. Even if I did it, there's still a chance they don't listen and just like get mad back, right? That's one of the problems with it. And 2, if they're the same rank as you, and chances are, like, you know, this tank, their fundamentals are so bad that they are the same rank pretty much on every role. They have nothing of value to tell you, right? So, like, literally don't listen to them. That might sound harsh. It's a waste of time, right? Um, Anyways, focusing on you. If you want to improve, the only consistent factor between games is you. Again, recommend competitive if you actually want to improve. It's definitely possible in quick play. Um, but regardless, you know, I watched your gameplay, and I'd say your 2 biggest problems are that you don't play cover. For instance, I see you just sitting out in main so often, um, and you just eat so much random spam, right? Or you make yourself very easy to shoot as players get better, and they'll target you and insta-kill you. And I think your second biggest problem, so I guess the remedy, before I go on, the remedy to that is literally play cover. So, like, if your tank's playing spawn, I don't think it's a great idea because no one else is here with them, right? And your comp isn't very good at it. But if your tank just wants to play here, no problem. Literally, instead of playing right here behind them, which is kind of what you're doing, walk over here because now you can heal your tank if that's all you want to do. I don't think it's the optimal thing to do, but if all you want to do is heal your tank, you can heal your tank without getting shot yourself, right? It's the power of cover, right? So you take quite literally 0 damage from just playing behind the map, playing map geometry correctly, right? So that makes all the difference. And 2, I think your second biggest problem is you quite literally never shoot. The cool thing about Kiriko is that you can heal and shoot 1 kunai for free, and sometimes you can shoot 2 at, like, I don't know, a 10% loss of healing. So there's no reason not to, like, always be shooting as Kiriko. Just practice the timing right. You heal, shoot, something like that. If you want, you can look up like Kiriko guides online or something, and they can give you the exact timings and exactly what your damage per second or healing per second is, depending on what mode you choose. But I know it's possible, right? It's really not that important that you get it down exactly, but what is important is that you actually shoot so you can threaten people to stop them from walking forward. Because let me go forward just a little bit, just kind of illustrate my example.
I'm with you.
So, you know, you play here, okay, not the best. So 5 people walk out of spawn, you heal for like 70 health per second, your Ana heals for like 90. So in total, you heal for 160 health per second, right? So, and this is why doing damage is so important, right? At least threatening people, because let's assume everyone on their team does 100 damage per second, right? Which isn't the case. They do way, way more, especially if they're getting headshots, and they all decide to look at your Zarya. Your Zarya has 550 health or something like that, and she's getting healed 150 health, or let's say 150 health per second, right? And now she just eats 500 damage per second because everyone's shooting her, right? And the actual number, especially to rank up, is going to be way higher. You literally cannot out heal that, right? She's just going to die because 500 damage per second is way higher than 160 healing per second, right? So she's literally just going to die no matter how much you heal her. But by shooting people and forcing them to not just run forward into your Zarya, either like by actually just immediately killing them and getting rid of one of their like sources of damage immediately, or focusing or forcing them to take a different angle, right? So they don't die to you anyways, or take cover to get healed themselves. You suddenly take off a fifth of their team's ability to do damage to your Zarya, whatever the actual numbers are. But like for this example, right, instead of doing 500 damage per second to your Zarya, they only do 400, which allows her to bubble, which allows you to heal her just a bit more with your Ana, right? So just doing damage is so valuable, right? And doing damage even better from an off angle suddenly allows your Zarya to not be getting shot by all 5 players, but instead by 3 maybe 2 are looking at you. But since you're so much smaller, right, and you can play cover, let's say you're here, you can play cover, instead of her eating 500 damage per second, she only eats 300, and maybe you only eat 50 because you're playing cover well and you're so much harder to hit. And look how much more pressure that takes off your Zarya, just because you play at a slightly different place. And you're shooting people to make them threaten, so they can't just consistently shoot you, right? So, here, big problem, right? You're standing in the open. If this Ashe and Soldier were better, you would have died, or at least gotten Suzu forced. Again, right, if you just want to heal bot, which I don't recommend, just literally play over here. Right, because now you'll take quite literally 0 damage per second. You can still heal your Zarya for the same amount, right? Ideally, even better, maybe you could play here, heal your Zarya, peek here, and shoot like kunais at the Kiriko or the BAP or something like that. And if you start getting shot, no problem. You're like literally half a second away from cover, and you can just take cover, right? And you won't be in danger of dying. Here, don't teleport in. You're 45 health again, right? If you're weak, you have to play slow. Right, if they were better, you could get one shot by literally their entire team right now. So yeah, don't do that. If your Zarya wants to play up here, just let her. Right, there's only so much you can do. If you have to die, save your team, right? Most of the time it's not worth it, especially if you want to carry. So yeah, you end up dying for it, right? You weren't the first death, but pretty close to it, right? I mean, see, your Zarya dies anyways. There's nothing you could have done to save her, because her positioning wasn't good. Go forward a little here. Nice.
Under my protection.
Here, I would have Suzu'd your Echo because she was in the open against double hit scan, and she was really low, like she was 25 health or something. She definitely could have died here. Let me just go back a bit further, unfortunately. See, she's like 25 health here. I don't know why she's the only health bar showing up in the replay right now, unfortunately. She definitely could have died if they hit her once here. I definitely would have Suzu'd. I wouldn't expect her to live there. But it's okay. I will say, I know your tank's probably about the same rank as you because that bubble is horrible, right? The Echo was literally here. Like I said, right? She's taking cover. Literally, who's going to shoot her? There's no one anywhere near here to be able to shoot her. If she literally just stands still, she can't die, right? And your Zarya just wasted a bubble on an Echo that's completely behind cover, and the Zarya can't even see that she's getting shot. So like, why? Again, I'd be Suzuing that. She's obviously making a mistake of blinking 3 times in the open, right? If you see your teammates in the open a lot like that, I'd Suzu them, right? You would have used them the Echo earlier, but like, you know, if your teammates want to do that, unfortunately they're gonna die. I would have Suzu'd her, maybe saved her. But yeah, the big problem here is that you're not shooting, right? Like I said earlier, if they just want to shoot your team, you cannot out-heal the amount of damage that comes from 5 players, right? Even thinking about it, 5 players can shoot, only 2 can heal. Like, it just kind of makes sense that if they just keep shooting and you don't, they're just going to out-damage your healing, right? So, again, you're really exposing yourself to heal your Zarya. If they were better, they would have killed you. Again, literally, that's all it takes when you go up in ranks. If you do something like this, you will instantly die. Get headshot by the Ashe, just blown up by the Soldier and Malga. I think your Zarya is making a mistake of doing this, but if she wants to do this and, you know, go with this like off angle for some reason, you can either rotate here to the car, spam kunais and try to heal her this way, or you can just immediately teleport to her. This is obviously a little risky, but it's something you can do. Maybe the ideal thing here is to teleport to her, but you have to do that immediately instead of walking out. Here, she's already full, right? If she's full health, find something else to do. Just start shooting until she starts taking damage, right? See? Not shooting at all, right? And she just runs out in the open for no reason. I don't even know if she's a bubble right now. Okay, she has 1. She just got it. So she's like making big mistakes too. She's just randomly walking in the open, not even shooting herself. She's literally not shooting. What is she doing? Like, this player is also not good. I don't mean to, like, you know, talk down on this player, but like, this is what I mean when I say you shouldn't take advice from players at roughly the same rank you are. See, you're not shooting, and they're just allowed to walk forward, right? When you don't shoot them, they have no reason not to walk forward, right? So, I think cover was okay there, though. You didn't make the same mistake. You actually teleported behind walls that time. It's okay. But the big problem is, since you're not shooting, they're just literally going to hold W, right? There's nothing to stop them from doing so. Say maybe you're a little too scared to get called out by your tank here, you know, just let them do their own thing. Do your own thing yourself. And obviously, saying that, I don't mean just let them die, but, you know, don't just follow them around. So. Here? Okay. I think that's literally the only time you shot all game.
Feels like selling, huh?
Here? Same thing, right? You can weave as Kiriko, which heal, shoot, heal, shoot. No reason not to be at least shooting. Depression's people play. So don't teleport in here, right? Kind of made the same mistake the very first, you know, fight when your Zarya was in. You're not losing anything by just sitting here and healing her, right? You have way better cover here if you start getting shot yourself. You know, you peek the Ashe or peek the Kiriko, peek the Ashe, peek the Soldier, peek someone. Probably the Soldier's the best target here because you don't have to peek anyone else to shoot them. Not too important right now. I just want you to get shooting, right? The important thing is you can shoot from safety here, right? If you start getting shot by the Soldier, look, you can just do this. Now you're perfectly safe. Peek out for half a second, heal your diva, right? She's a Matrix. If she just flies in and DMX, there's, like I said, nothing you can do to save her. Or you can maybe Suzu her, but like, teleporting in, you just put yourself in danger for no reason. They're shooting you here, and you live because they miss a lot. See, you're healing. You're putting all your heals, your Suzu and your teleport into your diva, and she gets demacked anyways, right? But she's like sometimes there's nothing you can do healing wise, which is why you have to shoot them sometimes, right? Unfortunate, Bastion's AFK. I think he's probably about to it just disconnects. Okay, well, yep, it happens. It's another reason quick play isn't that great, right? Sometimes you get levers, probably way more than happens in comp. Okay, no reason to Suzu there, right? She's behind cover. She's pretty much full health. Okay, I don't like that Kitsune. I don't like that Kitsune because your tank was already running away. The soldier was swinging with his Maga with Visor. Really, you guys shouldn't be here in the first place, but not the end of the world, right? It's alright. Unfortunately, it's a 3v5 because you have a lever, so not much you can do here, really. Another problem with the reviewing quick play games, right? I'm just 4v5, so obviously there are better things you could have done there. I don't want to worry about it too much. Okay, your entire team is full. Remember, just start shooting. Literally anywhere. Ideally, you want to be getting close as possible. I should have brought this up earlier. You want to be getting as close as possible, right? Because kunais are easier to hit the closer you are because they're projectiles, right? I mean, they have no fall off. But like for example, playing here, you know, you can launch kunais at the Kiri. It's relatively safe because you can just teleport away if you need to. But even if you didn't want to be that aggressive, right? They have no snipers, so you can even come up here and try to headshot people from this way. And if you start getting shot, you just take cover here, right? You have options. But you see, you're just kind of playing in the open across the map and making it as hard as possible for you to do damage, should you actually want to, right? And it also makes the paper things take longer to hit your target, right? So it's good. Yeah. See, you're just kind of, I mean, you're not really getting shot, but because you're standing in the open, right, you're just eating random spam. Obviously here it doesn't make a difference because you don't have a good comp of punishing it. But as you rank up, it will matter. So here you should know Amalga's to the left, right? Kind of still in the open. Again, get closer to them, right? You don't want to be you don't want to be this far away. At the very least, come up here or come up here, right? Since you're already on this side, you might as well come up here. So you can still heal her. Maybe, you know, drop down here, peek for a second or two, come to this corner, right? You're still out of LOS of the Malga. I want you to play up here in particular right now. Unfortunately, like he's already here, which is a problem. And you aren't in the best position to begin with, but that's okay from this position, right? I'm just trying to make the best of what you have. You can, you know, come over here, shoot the Malga, for example, right? You have options to do stuff rather than just heal your tank from across the map, right? Here, turn around, the Malga's in, right? This guy is like the primary threat right now, right? He's in your back line and he's on your soldier. Your Orisa just has to have the call to back off and like play her life. So your backline can deal with the Malga, right? Not a whole lot you could do. I think it was an okay Suzu on the Orisa earlier. You just had to like react to that sooner because you saw him here for a while, right? Let me back up. You can see he's shooting right now, right? I think even a few seconds earlier, you know you already knew he was here, right? So you should already be looking at him. Just shoot him a few times. You'd be surprised. Even tanks, if you shoot him a few times in the head, they're pretty easy to shoot in the head, right? You can scare him away sometimes. You do a pretty significant amount of damage. Going back again, right? Again, you know, respond to that call. See, I mean, yeah, unfortunately you can't out-heal that. If you were shooting that Malga a little earlier, he would have died, right? I mean, it ends up dying anyways. But he wouldn't have been able to pressure you guys for just a second or two longer, which makes all the difference. Getting faster, because now if the Malga was dead, he wouldn't be taking your attention now, so your entire team doesn't die here, right? If you kill him, now for example, if you kill him a second or two sooner, just walk in here, and look how much better your cover is from right now, right? You're just kind of too focused on healing your tank. So I guess unfortunately, that's the game. Yeah. So again, I'll reiterate, right? Um, play cover a lot better, right? Um, and shoot, actually shoot. Ideally, I want you shooting from an off angle, which isn't necessarily flanking, right? So a big misconception people have off angle, they think, okay, if my tank's here, I need to be like all the way over here or something, right? Shooting them, which can work sometimes, right? You have a teleport to get out, but sometimes off angling, right? If their entire team is on bridge, like 5 people on bridge, you obviously can't just walk it down here and get behind them, right? Not gonna happen. Um, Off angle can be as simple as your tank's over here, you can play over here, something like that, right? It's that simple. That's the ideal, but I just want you getting shooting in the first place. In the first place, right? It'll up your game because it'll take so much pressure off your teammates, right? I hope this helps.